We are going to start first lesson of snapshot, that is the summer of the beautiful white horse. This story is about two poor Armenian boys who belong to a tribe whose hallmarks are trust and honesty. One day back there in the good old days when I was 9, here Aram is narrating the story, and the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence, and life was still a delightful and mysterious dream because a boy of 9 has not unfurled the world. He doesn't know much about the world, so the world appears to be mysterious and full of dream. My cousin Murad, who was considered crazy by everybody who knew him except me, and everybody knew he was crazy. Crazy means pagalpan ka junoon. And he had inherited these properties from his uncle Khosrow. Came to my house at 4 in the morning, and he went to Aram's house at 4 in the morning and woke me up tapping on the window of my room. And he tapped on the window. खिड़की पर उसने खटखट किया. Aram, he said. I jumped out of bed and looked out of the window. I couldn't believe what I saw. And when Aram jumped out of his window, he could not believe, and he thought that he might be dreaming. It wasn't morning yet. 4 बजे अंधेरा रहता है, सुबह तो नहीं हुई है, तो अभी भी अंधेरा है. But it was summer, and with daybreak, not many minutes around the corner of the world, it was height enough for me to know I wasn't dreaming. When he peeped out of the window, खिड़की के बाहर देखा, he knew my cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse, and Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. I stuck my head out of the window and rubbed my eyes. Yes, he said. In Armenian, it's a horse, you are not dreaming. It is a horse, you are not dreaming. Make it quick if you want to write. I knew my cousin Murad enjoyed being alive more than anybody else. Alive means here जिंदा दिल इंसान था, more than anybody else who had ever fallen into the world by mistake. But this was more than even I could believe, and he could not believe that Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. In the first place, my earliest memories had been memories of horses, and they wanted to ride a horse. Always they thought about the horse, and my first longing had been longing to ride, and Aram wanted to ride it. This was the wonderful part, and this was the most wonderful part, and Murad came with the horse right in front of his house. In the second place, we were poor, and Aram says that the family was very poor, so they could not buy a horse. This was the part that wouldn't permit me to believe what I saw, because they were very poor. So whatever he saw, Murad riding a beautiful white horse, he could not believe his eyes. We were poor, we had no money, and they were so poor that they did not even have money. Our whole tribe was poverty stricken, and whole tribe they were very poor. Every branch of the Garigolian family was living in the most amazing and comical poverty in the world. Very pathetic condition, very poor. They found it very difficult to keep their body and soul together. Nobody could understand where we ever got money enough to keep us with food in our bellies, and they did not even know from where did they get money to feed. Not even the old men of the family, even the eldest member of the family did not know. Most important of all, though we were famous for our honesty, and this tribe was famous for their honesty. We had been famous for our honesty for something like 11 centuries. For 11 centuries, they were famous for honesty. Even we had been the wealthiest family in what we like to think was the world. When they were wealthiest family at that time also, they were very honest. We were proud first, honest next. And after that, we believe in right and wrong. None of us would take advantage of anybody in the world. Nobody took advantage of anybody, let alone steal. And they did not steal anybody's thing. Consequently, even though I could see the horse so magnificent, even though I could smell it, even though I could hear it breathing. So exciting, I couldn't believe the horse had anything to do with my cousin Morad or with me or with any of the other members of our family. The horse has to do nothing with their family or other family members, asleep or awake, because I knew my cousin Murad couldn't have bought the horse. And you know, their family is very poor, so his cousin Murad could not have bought the horse, and if he couldn't have bought it, he must have stolen it. And if he could not have bought the horse, it means he must have stolen it. And I refused to believe he had stolen it, because their hallmark is what? Trust and honesty. So he could not believe that Murad had stolen the horse. No member of the Garigolian family could be a thief. No member of the Garigolian family could be a thief. I stared first at my cousin. Stared is what? Look fixedly. And then at the horse. There was a pious stillness and humor in each of them, which on the one hand delighted me and on the other frightened me, because they were both in having cordial relation. Means you cannot tame a horse in a day. Murad, I said, where did you steal this horse? Then Aram wanted to know from where his cousin brother Murad had stolen this horse. Leap out of the window. Leap means jump out of the window, he said, if you want to ride. It was true then, he had stolen the horse, because Aram had asked him question whether he had stolen the horse, but Murad did not answer. So he took it for granted that he must have stolen the horse. There was no question about it. he had come to invite me to ride or not, as I chose. Well, it seemed to me stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else. It is, children, child psychology that they loved horse riding. That's why stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else, such as money. If they stole money, that would be stealing. For all I knew, maybe it wasn't stealing at all if you were crazy about. And they were very much crazy about the horses. The way my cousin Murad and I were. It wasn't stealing. It wouldn't become stealing until we offered it to sell the horse. It would not be considered stealing if they would have offered it for sale, then it would be stealing, which of course I knew we would never do. And that is the hallmark of their tribe, trust and honesty. They would never do such type of things. Let me put on some clothes, I said. Then he wanted to dress himself. Who? Aram. All right, he said, but hurry. And Morad said, be quick. I leaped into my clothes, and Aram wore clothes quickly. I jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped up onto the horse behind my cousin Morad. And Morad was riding, and Aram was sitting behind him. That year, we lived on the edge of the town on Walnut Avenue, and they lived in Walnut Avenue. Behind our house was the country, vineyards, orchards, irrigation ditches, and country roads. Country road is what? Village road. In less than 3 minutes, we were on Olive Avenue, because horse runs very fast. As a result, within no time from Walnut Avenue, they reached to Olive Avenue within 3 minutes, and then the horse began to trot. Trot means began to run very fast. The air was new and lovely to breathe, and they were enjoying themselves. The feel of the horse running was wonderful, and they were experiencing wonderful experience. My cousin Murad, who was considered one of craziest members of our family. He was considered one of the craziest members of their family, began to sing. And he was so excited that he began to sing. He began to roar. Every family has a crazy streak in it somewhere, and my cousin Morad was considered the natural descendant of the crazy streak in our tribe, and he had inherited properties of his uncle, that is Khosrow. Before him was our uncle Khosrow, as I have already mentioned, an enormous man, means robust built, very powerful, with a powerful head of black hair and the largest mustache in the San Jacobin Valley. And his mustache, माने मूछा बहुत बड़ा बड़ा था. A man so furious in temper. He was very short tempered, so irritable, so impatient that he stopped anyone from talking by roaring. His voice was very powerful. The way he spoke, it appeared to be roaring, so he could silence anybody. It is no harm, pay no attention to it. It is the only phrase he would utter. It is no harm, pay no attention to it. and he would storm, means shout. That was all, no matter what anybody happened to be talking about. Once it was his own son, Arak, and Uncle Khosrow's son is Arak, running 8 blocks to the barber's shop, where his father was having his mustache trimmed, to tell him their house was on fire. Means Uncle Khosrow's house was on fire, and his son came to inform him because daddy was sitting in barber's shop. This man Khosrow sat up in the chair and roared. He was sitting on the chair and he did not pay heed to what his son had uttered. It is no harm, pay no attention to it. And abruptly he said, no harm, pay no attention to it. The barber said, but the boy says, your house is on fire. And barber was dumbstruck. What this man is uttering? Pay no attention to it. And his very house is on fire. So Khosrow roared, enough, it is no harm, I say. And he said, it is no harm. My cousin Murad was considered the natural descendant of this man. And in the same way, Murad had inherited properties of his uncle Khosrow, although Murad's father was Zorab, who was practical and nothing else. And Murad's father is what? Zorab. And he was very practical. And he did not live in imaginary or took flight. That's how it was in our tribe. A man could be the father of his son's flesh. Means Murad had physical outlook of his father, but that did not mean that he was also the father of his spirit. Means it does not mean his temperament will be the same. He may inherit temperament of somebody else. Appearance, ठीक है, अपीयरेंस एक ही तरह देखने में हो सकते हैं, मगर थिंकिंग दो लोगों की अलग हो सकती है. The distribution of the various kinds of spirit of our tribe had been from the beginning capricious and vagrant. Means lot of varieties you will find. We rode, my cousin Murad sang. For all anybody knew, we were still in the old country where, at least according to some of my neighbors we belonged, we let the horse run as long as it felt like running. And after that, they let the horse run as long it wanted to run. At last, my cousin Murad said, get down, I want to ride alone. First, Aram and Murad both were riding together. Now, Murad said that he wanted to ride alone. Will you let me ride alone? I asked. And even Aram wanted to ride alone. That's why he asked question from his brother. Will he allow him? That is up to the horse, my cousin said. Get down. And Murad said that depends on the horse, not on him. So asked him to get down from the horse. The horse will let me ride, I said. We shall see, he said. And Murad said, let's see if the horse allows you to ride or not. Don't forget that I have a way with a horse. As Khosrow used to say, no harm, pay no attention to it. In the same way, Murad said, I have a way with a horse. Well, I said, any way you have with a horse, I have also. For the sake of your safety, he said, let us hope so. Get down. All right, I said. But remember, you have got to let me try to ride alone. I got down, and my cousin Murad kicked his heels into the horse and shouted, Wazir, run! The horse stood on its hind legs, snorted, and burst into a fury of speed that was the loveliest thing I had ever seen. And the horse ran very fast. And Aram was observing all this. He was standing and he was observing. My cousin Murad raced the horse across a field of dry grass to an irrigation ditch, crossed the ditch on the horse, and 5 minutes later returned dripping wet. Dripping wet means he was perspiring. पसीने से चूर होके वो आ गया. The sun was coming out. Now sun is rising. Now it's my turn to ride. Then Aram said, Now it is my turn to ride. I said. My cousin Murad got off the horse. Ride, he said. Okay, you ride. I leaped. Leaped means jumped to the back of the horse and for a moment knew the most awful fear imaginable, and he was very much frightened. He jumped into the horse's back, but he was very much frightened. The horse did not move. The horse did not move at all. It stood there only. Kick into his muscles, my cousin Murad said, and he ordered Aram to kick into the muscles of the horse. What are you waiting for? We have got to take him back before everybody in the world is up and about. Before everybody gets up, we have to carry this horse to the barn. I kicked into the muscles of the horse. Once again, it reared and snorted. Then it began to run. Abruptly, it started running and didn't know what to do. And he was frightened, so he did not know what to do. Instead of running across the field to the irrigation ditch, the horse ran down the road in the vineyard and of Deacon Halebian, where it began to leap over vines. It started taking high jumps. As a result, the horse leaped over 7 vines before I fell, and at last Aram fell to the ground. Then it continued running. After Aram fell from the horse, still the horse was running. My cousin Murad came running down the road. I am not worried about you. And he was not worried about Aram if he's got hurt or not. He shouted, We have got to get that horse. And he was very much concerned about horse than his brother Aram. You go this way and will go this way. If you come upon him, be kindly, I will be near. And he said to Aram that if you come across horse, be kind, do not shout at the horse. I continued down the road and my cousin Murad went across the field towards the irrigation ditch. It took him half an hour to find the horse and bring him back. All right, he said, jump on. The whole world is awake now. What will we do? I said. Well, he said, we will either take him back or hide him until tomorrow morning. He didn't sound worried. It means he had been riding before also. He knew where to hide the horse. That's why he was not worried at all. And I knew he had hide him and not take him back. Not for a while at any rate. Where will we hide him? I said. I know a place, he said. How long ago did you steal this horse? Because Murad knows where to hide the place. It seems that he had been riding before only, I said. It suddenly dawned on me that he had been taking these early morning rides for some time and had come for me this morning only because he knew how much I longed to ride, and he knew Aram also wanted to ride a horse. Who said anything about stealing a horse? He said. Anyhow, I said, how long ago did you begin riding every morning? Not until this morning, he said. Are you telling the truth? I said, of course not. And Morad was riding before only, and if anybody asked, he has to say only this morning only they were riding the horse. He said, but if we are found out, that's what you are to say. I don't want both of us to be liars. All you know is that we started riding this morning. And Morad said that this morning only we started riding. All right, I said. He walked the horse quietly to the barn. Barn is what? Cowshed of a deserted vineyard. It is broken. Now no cows are kept there. ठीक है? Which at one time had been the pride of a farmer named Fatwajin. And it was pride because he had lot of cows and buffalo, and now nothing is there. Barn, that is cowshed, is totally destroyed and broken. There were some oats and dry alfalfa in the barn, and wild grass grew all around. We began walking home. It wasn't easy, he said, to get the horse to behave so nicely. At first, it wanted to run wild. But as I have told you, I have a way. With a horse, I can get it to what to do anything I want it to do. And every time Murad says, I have a way, and he has tamed the animal properly. Horses understand me. How do you do it? And Murad says, horses understand me. How do you do it? And Aram asked this question. How does he manage all this? I said, I have an understanding with a horse, he said. And he said, he has got understanding with a horse. Yes, but what sort of an understanding? I said. A simple and honest one, he said. Well, I said, I wish I knew how to reach an understanding like that with a horse. Even Aram wanted to develop that type of understanding with the horse. You are still a small boy because Aram is 9 and Murad is 30. That's why Murad said, you are still a small boy. He said, when you get to be 13, you will know how to do it. And Murad is 13. That's why he can manage all this very well. I went home and ate a hearty breakfast. On that day, Aram went home and ate a hearty breakfast, means ate his breakfast properly. He was content. That afternoon, my uncle Khosrow came to our house for coffee and cigarette. And on that day, who came? Khosrow, uncle, Aram's uncle. He came for coffee and cigarette. He sat in the parlor, sipping and smoking and remembering the old country. Then another visitor arrived, a farmer named John Byrow, and this is the horse, and this horse belongs to John Byrow, an Azerian who, out of loneliness, had learned to speak Armenian, and he was a loner. He lived all alone, and he had started speaking Armenian. My mother brought the lonely visitor coffee and tobacco, and he rolled a cigarette and sipped and smoked. And then at last, sighing sadly, he gave a sad look and he said, "My white horse, which was stolen last month, is still gone. And last month, his white horse was stolen, but he could not trace it. I could not understand it. My uncle Khosrow became very irritated and shouted, 'It's no harm. What is the loss of a horse? Haven't we all lost the homeland? Horse is a small thing, according to Khosrow, and they have lost their homeland. So, need not repent about horse. What is this crying over a horse? That may be all right for you, a city dweller, because Khosrow lives in city and this John Byro lives in the village. He does not have any mode of transport. But what of a saray? Means saray is what? Carriage, horse carriage. It without horse carriage is useless. So what is the use of now? Carriage. What good is a saray without a horse? Pay no attention to it, my uncle Khosrow rode. I walked 10 miles to get here, John Byro said, and it took 10 miles, and I have to walk down all the while. You have, and his leg pains. You have legs, my uncle Khosrow shouted.